Hey everyone, we're The Violet Reality. I'm Casey Rain.
I'm Kim Chameleon.
And welcome to This Week in Print episode 40. We have officially reached the big 4-0. What was Prince doing?
Twice, though.
What was Prince doing when he was 40 years old? So that would be in 1998. So we're officially New Power Soul kind of era.
Cool.
Yeah, Crystal Ball, New Power Soul, that kind of time. That's where we're at.
So that's our era at the moment. Only we wish we looked as good at Prince looked in that era, but you know, yeah, so.
Can't have everything.
For all of our 40-year-olds out there, this one's for you.
All right, let's kick off with the big news of the week.
So Prince has his own color, guys.
What?
His own color, like his own shade of purple. A color named after him.
Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Prince has always had his own color. Yeah. Purple. Duh.
But officially, it's official, guys.
The estate has done a deal with Pantone, who are a authority on all things colour, and they have developed a custom shade called Love Symbol No. 2.
Yep.
And that is official with the estate and Pantone. That is the official Prince colour. If you want to see it, check the description. Yep. We are going to link you to a picture that shows you the exact shade. That is Love Symbol No. 2. And as soon as we can, we're going to buy some paint and paint our entire house.
Just check our walls.
Yeah, like we'll be swimming in a sea of Love Symbol No. 2. Because that's how we do. Yeah.
Sharon Nelson gave an interview to the Orc.
That's right. Sharon Nelson did an exclusive interview with Prince.org. Yep. Now, I just want to say a massive shout out to my fellow Prince.org moderator, June 7, aka Thomas, who we actually stayed with while we were in LA. And he's a great guy. And he was the one who set up this interview with Sharon Nelson and did a great job. Her answers are very, very enlightening, giving some clues on how we should expect this whole thing to play out. With the heirs and the kind of projects that they want to do and how we can get involved with that and have our opinions heard and all these kind of things, and lots of cool stories about her relationship with Prince growing up. And she was the one who lived in New York and who Prince went to New York to stay with before he had a record deal, when he was first trying to get a record deal. And all these kind of things, and stories about their father, John L. Nelson, and what kind of impact he had on Prince, and all this kind of stuff. It's a really, really great interview. Link is in the description. Go to Prince.org, read the exclusive interview with Sharon Nelson. Speaking of John L. Nelson and Sharon Nelson, Sharon has, of course, as we've mentioned before, been putting together this project based on John's music, the actual sheets of music that she's had in her possession for however long, getting professional players to perform these pieces and release them. We've seen one track released from this so far, but they've just put out a teaser of another track, which is called Don't Play With Love. And what's really cool about this is, for the little teaser, they have done an edit of the famous Wrecker Stowe scene from Under the Cherry Moon, and placed that piece of music underneath it, which is really cool. It actually fits really well.
I know, it's like that whole the whole vibe that I'm getting off that project is just Under the Cherry Moon kind of vibes, like the whole piano.
Yeah, I think because John L. Nelson's music is sort of like jazz piano type stuff. Definitely. It really works well with Under the Cherry Moon. And then our Christopher
Tracy was a piano player. He played piano, obviously people loved it. And
I think John L. Nelson as a person was definitely a big influence, not just on Prince as his son, but on the character of Christopher Tracy as a piano player and that kind of jazzy style and whatnot. So yeah, that's really cool. So make sure you watch that. We're going to link you to that in the description as well.
So next up, there's so much news this week, guys.
This is such a massive episode because there's so much news. It's like when it rains, it pours. Like, you know what I mean? So
there is a wonderful book coming out. When's it coming out?
October, I think. October, yeah.
By
Afshin Shahidi, we've mentioned before. Afshin was Prince's photographer, has made this fantastic book that's coming out, which is very similar to Steve Park's book in the sense that Afshin was also Prince's photographer after Steve, and so there will be
story
pictures,
basically.
Many of them seen, many of them unseen, and the stories that go along with them. Now,
there's a couple of them already out there. I think we told you that last week, so we hope you've seen them. If not, then tell us about it. We can like link you to where the pictures are. But the massive news about this is that no one but the one and only Beyonce has written the foreword in this book.
That's right. There's some serious star power going on with this book, getting Beyonce to write, you know, the foreword, the intro. Be really interesting. Be really interesting.
I'm interested in what she's gonna say.
Yeah, as you know, Beyonce famously performed with Prince at the Grammys in 2004. But what most people actually, this is really interesting. Before Destiny's Child, the name of the group that Beyonce and the other members of Destiny's Child were in was called Girls' Time. And Tamar, Prince protege Tamar, was also in that group.
She was.
And Prince was aware of this group when they were just starting out, and I believe there were some talks about possibly signing them to, you know, Paisley Park or NPG Records, you know, when they'd started out in the early to mid 90s. That didn't happen. The group became Destiny's Child. Tamar left and went on to great success, you know, on their own. So that's a really interesting footnote, and I wonder if you know, Beyonce will mention that in the intro. It'd be interesting to see if she does. But yeah, wow.
Beyonce, guys, wow. Tell us what you think about that. That's a big one.
Yeah, we want to know. In fact, mentioning forwards, I really liked Sheila's forward in Steve Park's book. That was fantastic. We always love hearing from Sheila.
There is a new type of tour available at Paisley Park now. It's called the Ultimate Experience at Paisley Park. It's a 3-hour-long tour, and you can now book it on the Paisley Park website. Yep.
The regular tour, I guess there's 3 types of tour. There's your regular tour, your VIP tour, and now your ultimate experience tour, which kind of, it seems like they should rename Ultimate Experience to be VIP, and the what's VIP now should be like lowered down, like, because like if you're a VIP, how can there be something like better than what you do? Right? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like VVIP.
It's like the royal tour.
Very important. Like,
super important person.
But what's really interesting is that the this new Ultimate Experience super long 3-hour tour, it's basically twice the length of the VIP tour. The VIP tour is 100 minutes, so that's an hour and 40 minutes, and this one is 3 hours long, and you get access to all 3 studios, A, B, and C. You get to look at video footage, unseen, I think, video footage of Prince in the video editing suite at Paisley. There's all kinds of mad stuff that is not part of the regular tour. You see extra artifacts and, like, you know, all kinds of stuff.
We don't know if it's going to stay forever. We don't know for how long it's going to stay and if it's an exclusive thing or whatnot, but it's on the website at the moment. And if you do go to Paisley Park and you do happen to go on this particular tour, please tell us about it.
Yeah, let us know about it. Hopefully when we eventually make it out to Paisley, we will be able to go on this super long tour ourselves. That's what we're hoping for, but you know, we'll see. Now, speaking of Paisley Park
and the symbol,
new hoodies.
Awesome.
But still no shipping to Europe. Boo.
Nope. There's never shipping to Europe. Apparently. Well, you know, we're just gonna have to go to the United States. We're just gonna have to go there, and we're just gonna have to buy up all the stock and then just like give it out to everybody in
Europe.
Just
all
give
the British fans in
Europe. Like everyone that wants something, there you go.
So these new hoodies, they have the love symbol on the front and Paisley Park logo on the back, and they run at about $75, and they look really cool.
I bet you they're quite warm as well.
There is a man's cut one, and there is a woman's cut one.
I like it when they do that, when they make like bulk cuts so that you can kind of pick.
So link in the description. If you want to order a brand new love symbol Paisley Park hoodie, then go to the site and do it. If you're in the US. And in yet more Paisley Park news, yellow and peach cloud guitars are now available for pre-order, and they run at the cost of $1,750. So if you were looking at buying a cloud guitar from Paisley, but you thought, actually, I would really like to have the yellow one or the peach one, because, you know, color me peach and black, or get off, you know, yellow.
Just
or
buy
those
a
are your
car with
favorites.
it as
then you can now do that.
Yeah, you can.
Get your pre-orders in now. And buy us one while you're at it. hit us up. We'll give you our address.
I don't think we have any space. We already have too much Prince stuff all over the place. We recently bought this Prince tea towel from H&V here, which is a record store. That's quite cool though. They had tea towels of like every artist that you could possibly think of. It was awesome. So it's hanging up here now. If you want to see a picture of it, go to our Instagram because I'm sure we posted a picture of it somewhere.
We did.
In the previous video, we talked about there was a Purple Rain musical in the making.
And we didn't think very highly of that idea. In fact, I seem to remember either saying in the video or tweeting that I thought it was like a terrible idea, basically. And it was pretty obvious from the get-go that this was a cash-in and not an authorized, event from the estate. And that has now been proven to be the case. The estate has put the smackdown on them, and this musical is now not happening.
So it's been cancelled.
Yeah. And we can't say that we're particularly upset about it.
No, I don't think we were going to go see it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see some sort of like, glorified karaoke of Purple Rain songs with no focus on any musicianship and just a bunch of random people singing these songs and dancing around on stage. Like, sorry, not good enough for me. Do it properly or don't do it at all.
Just watch Purple Rain, guys. That's what it comes down to.
Exactly.
I don't know if any of you guys watched the show Empire, but they are going to do a Prince special, so like an entire Prince-based episode in their 4th season.
Yeah, it looks really interesting.
Yeah.
I have to say that we've never watched this show. I don't know if we even get it over here in England.
I think we do, yeah.
I sort of have a vague idea what it's about, but now that they're doing a Prince episode, we will definitely, at the very least, tune into that episode. Just like how the only New Girl episode I've ever seen is the Prince one.
I quite liked New Girl though. I like that he put Zooey Deschanel on a song, and then in like the album release that he had of that song, he actually took her off again. Poor girl.
I like that episode as well, but I didn't like the show enough to like want to watch like the show like all the time.
Prince was good in it though. If they would have put Prince in it as like a returning character, I would have watched it.
Yeah.
Not that I would have done that.
Like every week.
Prince every week.
That would have been a good show.
I know. Prince should have had his own reality show really, or like at least some
sitcom.
kind of show. Yeah.
Did you know Morris Day had a sitcom in the 80s?
Really?
We need to track that down and like watch it. I don't think it lasted very long. Cool. But yeah.
I think Prince would have worked well in his sitcom though, because he's really funny.
So Empire Prince special coming up. One of the directors and producers of Empire worked with Prince on many occasions. So it's not like this is just a random show with no link to him. So we have no issue with this, and hopefully it's a good episode and they do a good job, and we'll watch it and we'll talk about it when it comes out.
Yeah, we'll give you a little review about it.
Yeah. So recently, an auction site did an auction of some...
No way.
Yes way.
No.
Did an auction of some unreleased Prince lyrics. The song appears to be called Electric Rush. It's unclear when it dates from, when these lyrics were written, if it was even ever recorded, knowing Prince probably. So these handwritten lyrics for this unreleased song, Electric Rush, are either being sold at auction or have just been sold. I haven't kept up to date in the last few days on when the auction was ending, but we're going to link in the description below. You can check that out.
If the auction's still going,
squiggly writing, so it's kind of like hard to make out what the lyrics actually are. But
you can even bet on it if it's still going, you know.
Yeah, if you're like really rich.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's out there. PRN Alumni is holding an event, so just like they did last year, they're holding another event from the 7th of September till the 9th of September, celebrating 30 years of Paisley Park. So 30 years since Paisley Park was opened.
That's right. If you remember in our last video, we mentioned they'd posted a save the date. Well, following up from that, we've got the details of the event.
Yeah,
so on September the 7th, it's the opening of the event, the inaugural performance. King are going to be performing. I don't know if you guys remember King. This is a group that Kiran Sharma, who was managing Prince for a while, also looks after. Prince had them perform at Paisley Park before and tweeted about them quite a lot. So they're going to be performing on September the 7th. On September the 9th, we have an event at the Capri Theatre, which you may remember is the location of Prince's very first professional performance.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a panel talk on lots of different subjects to do with Prince, like engineering and fashion and all this kind of stuff. And the PRN, all the proceeds go to the PRN Alumni Foundation, which, as we mentioned before, you know, supports causes and people that Prince himself, you know, would be supporting if he were here.
Yes.
So it's a very, very, very good cause. There's also another event to do with the PRN Alumni, and that is that you can bid on an auction to have lunch with Taja Sevelle.
Yes!
Which is awesome. We
Yeah.
love Taja. We would love to have lunch with Taja.
Who doesn't remember Wouldn't You Love to Love Me?
Yeah. And Love is Contagious.
I know, but Wouldn't You Love to Love Me is like Prince wrote it, and then Prince, like, what was the story here again? It has something to do with MJ.
Well, actually, Prince wrote Wouldn't You Love to Love Me like when he was super young. It was one of the very first songs that he wrote as a teenager. There's demos of it that go back to like 76 or 77. Reworked it in 1986 to offer it to Michael Jackson for Bad.
Yep.
Michael turned it down. Prince then gave it to Taja, who released it, and it's a fantastic song.
She made it it really suits her. I just love
It's a great
it.
song.
The video clip's lovely as well.
It's a great song. I really hope that a high quality version of Prince's 1986 vocal version leaks out to the internet someday. We have it in very poor quality, but we would like to hear it in perfect quality.
Yes.
It's a great song. But yeah, you can bid for lunch to have a lunch with Taja. All the proceeds for that also go to PRN Alumni event.
Link in the description below.
Yeah. Oh, the inaugural performance on the 7th of September is at the Machine Shop. Did you say that already?
No.
Okay, so yeah, it's at the Machine Shop. We're going to link all the details in the description below. As always, if you are in or can make it to Minneapolis around this time, then you must go.
And keep us up to date, guys.
And we want to give a massive
shout
shout out to Jackie Thompson, who is one of the main people at the PRN Alumni putting everything together. Much love, Jackie. We love you. We love what you guys are doing. We are 100% in support of this. And you know, if we could make it to Minneapolis, then we would. But we may not be able to this time. But in the future, we
probably
certainly
somewhere
hope to.
next year we'll be there at some point. Yeah,
exactly. So best of luck with the event. We are going to keep covering it. So is there any more details that you want us to put out there, then definitely let us know, and we will spread the word.
And also, if you guys want any more details about it, then you can always message us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and we'll just tell you about it with everything, really.
Yeah, exactly. So it seems like there is a never-ending stream of artists and celebrities and music business people who are more than happy to discuss any interactions that they may have had with Prince. This has been an ongoing thing for a very long time, but you know, obviously since he passed, and it's still, you know, more than a year later, we still get people coming out telling their Prince stories, which is awesome. So the two that we want to talk about today that have been in the news in the last week or so is, number one is Sas Metcalfe. Now Sas is one of the main people at Kobalt, which is a huge music publishing company, and they do artist services for lots of artists as well. So Prince had done a deal with Kobalt for a couple of singles. I think it was Live Out Loud and Fix Your Life Up. Both came out through his deal with Kobalt. Originally, Plectrum Electrum was supposed to come out through Kobalt, but then when he renegotiated with Warner's, it ended up coming out as the Warner's project. But it seems like he did have a pretty decent relationship with Kobalt, and Sas has done an interview recently talking about what it was like for her to go to Paisley Park and you know, discussing, you know, stuff about this deal that Kobalt had done with Prince. Now this is really cool for me personally. It seems like I say that every now and then. I always have some kind of link to something or other. But one really cool fact is that, if you don't know, I come from a big music industry family. I have professional platinum selling artists and producers in my immediate family. And my two cousins who are producers, which is Simon and Diamond, they were signed to a big publishing deal in the 90s with Warner Chappell, which is one of the other big publishing companies, and it was Sas that signed them in the 90s. So that's my little family connection to Sas Metcalfe, who is now at Kobalt.
So yeah, go check out the little interview just to read it. Don't you just love these stories from everybody? They're always so nice. Like, there's no one in the world that I've seen come out that had anything bad to say about Prince.
Well, that's not true.
Or I basically just ignored that. But like, that's like one person now. Everybody just loves Prince. Yeah. He was so loved. We really miss him, guys.
We really do. Speaking of people, speaking about their interactions with Prince, Herbie Hancock, legendary Herbie Hancock, jazz artist, also recently spoke about partying with Prince in LA when he used to host his legendary parties. Now, Herbie is one of those... I
wanted to do that.
I think everyone wanted to do that. Now, Herbie is one of those legendary artists that we really wish would have done some kind of collaboration with Prince at some time. Definitely. That never happened, but obviously Herbie himself is a legend. If you're not familiar with his music, then go to Spotify and check it out because you are missing out.
Yes.
True legend. We'll link you to that interview where he talks about going to Prince's parties. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Yeah.
And some other news, something completely different. Well, first of all, we have to tell you, we hardly ever go to this store, but Primark now has some Prince t-shirts in stock.
Yes, Primark, some people have noticed that there are some Prince shirts in Primark. They have the Prince, the Purple Rain logo in white and gold, apparently. It's unclear whether these are actually licensed merch from Bravado
I'm not sure.
or
we
not.
haven't actually seen them because we never go into Primark. So if we do go into Primark at some point, we'll try and find them. But we also don't know if it's in every country, if it's like... We don't really know. We've just seen some pictures of there being some Prince shirts in Primark somewhere in the world.
They may be licensed from Bravado. They may not. We'll find out. We will find out and we'll let you know. And if we see one, we'll pick one up and we'll show it.
So right before we started filming this particular video, Questlove did something so cool.
Now, if you are a proper Prince historian, as we are, then you have probably heard or read at some point about a group that was called...
The Hookers.
Now, what was the Hookers?
Yeah, what were they? Well, first of all, this group was there before Vanity 6.
That's right. So the Hookers was Prince's original concept for a girl band that later became Vanity 6 and then Apollonia 6. However, he didn't have Vanity at this time.
No, so
neither did he have Brenda.
Nope, but Susan was there, and Susan's sister.
Yep. So just before we started filming this video, Questlove of The Roots, also a fellow Prince historian and huge fan, shout out to Questlove, has found and uploaded an actual photo of the Hookers
so the
lineup.
Original group, basically.
So you've got Susan Moonsey, you got Jamie Shoup, who was Prince's assistant at the time, and then you have Susan's sister, Laureen Moonsey, and this photo of this conceptual girl group, the Hookers.
In lingerie and like pajama silk, like lingerie again.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know,
we're going to link you to the picture in the description. Check it out. This is brand new.
It's so cool.
It's only been known about, but never posted about before.
And you know what the interesting thing is, guys? First of all, Susan is in the exact same outfit that she was going to go on wearing eventually, being in Vanity 6. Exact same standing position, and the picture background is almost identical to what was used on Vanity 6's first album, and also the posing, like the poses that the girls are doing. So I'm sure Prince knew so well what kind of vision he had in mind for this girl group.
He had it planned out like perfectly. Like he knew exactly what he wanted it to look like, even before he had, you know, 2 of the 3 vital band members that were actually wanted to do it. Yeah, he had one sister and his assistant. I mean, you got to work with what you have, right? Like,
I know, you kind of like, if you want to like have some kind of idea, you can take pictures of people and all that, and it's like a nice memory for them as well. You know, I wonder if they have seen that particular picture in years, or if they've just like recently, you know, because Questlove posted it, whether they're seeing it again for the first time in ages as well. That must be so weird.
Indeed. Yeah. Well, this has been a bumper edition of This Week in Prince.
Loads of news.
What else would you expect from episode 40, though?
I know.
My hair's getting bigger every week. By episode 50, it's going to be like down here and like out here. I'll be looking like Diana Ross up in here. Kim's matching with the pillow. Yep. I mean, it's just a special episode.
Or was it going to be love symbol number 2 at some point?
Exactly. Our landlord will hate us. Everything. I mean,
but we're going to paint the windows and the walls and the outside of our house and just everything.
So this has been episode 40 of This Week in Prince.
Yeah. We love you so much,
We love you guys. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm Casey Rain.
I'm Kim Camellia.
We are The Violet Reality.
Thank you so much for sticking with us, and thank you so much for allowing us to give you 40 episodes of this show, because we really love doing it for you.
And we'll be back with episode 41
next week.
Catch you next time, guys.
Bye-bye.
Peace
And be wild.